The budget heads of the Ministry of Foreign Employment Promotion and Welfare were taken up for debate in Parliament. The topic of Sri Lankan women engaging in foreign employment also surfaced during the debate.
Honourable Speaker, although we describe these people as national heroes, it is disappointing to see that today Rizana Nafik, who was born in 1988, had her date of birth changed 1982 to be sent abroad illegally, and today for 7.5 years she has been languishing in a prison in Riyadh for a wrong she did not commit. The minister keeps saying that she will come home today or tomorrow. He says the prison sentence has been suspended, but for 7.5 years, this school-aged child has been languishing in a Saudi prison. As a parliamentarian representing the Kurunagara district, as far as I know, the third highest number of foreign workers come from our district. But I would like to state now with responsibility that not even 0.001% of those workers have been subjected to the kind of treatment that you speak of. A minimum wage was proposed for unskilled Sri Lankans going abroad for work. One of the key problems being faced by these labourers is that the staff in our embassies in those countries do not visit their places of work and inquire into their well-being and the facilities provided to them. So the issue in a situation like this is who is carrying out the duties of the Foreign Employment Services Bureau.
According to reports, 95% of those who are there today are leading successful lives. This sector has also contributed immensely to reducing unemployment to 4.8% today.
MP Kiryala, if you consider the women among these foreign labourers, they would be unemployed if they remained in this country. They are not qualified for any employment. Not 5%, but even if 0.5% are experiencing problems, it is a problem for us. That is the purpose of this ministry. If no one has problems, then there is no need for this ministry. There is a silpada that I have adhered to in my political life, and that is Adinadana. Anyone here will know that I have broken 4 of the 5 silpadas, but I have not violated Adinadana. So do not sling mud at me because I will always abide by this code.
The police said that they used minimal force in order to disperse a protest opposite the Jaffna University today.
Students of the Jaffna University had gathered opposite the main entrance of the university this morning in order to stage a demonstration. The police had at this point requested the students to disperse, but these calls were not heeded and the students continued with their demonstration. Subsequently, the police had baton charged the students in order to disperse them. The police say that the students had pelted stones at police officers who had assembled there. SSP Prashant Jayakodi, the police media spokesperson, said the police used minimal force in order to disperse the protesters. He added that normalcy had been restored following discussions with the university administration. News First made inquiries regarding this incident and allegations levelled by the students from the Army media spokesperson Brigadier Ruwan Vanigasuriya. He said that Army personnel had been on standby to assist and cooperate with the police in order to control an illegal assembly that was to take place opposite the Jaffna University. However, he noted that a need did not arise for Army personnel to get engaged in dispersing the protesters. News First also made inquiries regarding this incident from the Vice Chancellor of the Jaffna University, Professor Vasanthi Arsaratnam. She said that as she is currently in Colombo, she is unaware of the incident and therefore unable to comment.
Meanwhile, the former Deputy Minister MD Premaratna says that he strongly condemns the move to create a dictator within the UNP who would lead it towards destruction through an unconstitutional convention. The former Deputy Minister made this statement in a letter sent to the General Secretary of the UNP, stating that he is yet to receive an invitation to the UNP Convention, which is due to be held on the 1st of December.
MT Premaratna points out that he contested the general election held in 1977 from the Avisavela electorate and took over the deputy ministerial portfolio for parliamentary affairs and sports under the then UNP government. The former deputy minister, who also served as a diplomat under the then UNP regime, states that he received invitations to attend the UNP Convention every year. Quote, I am saddened by the fact that I have had to send a letter in order to request for an invitation to attend the party convention. It is clear that individuals who have no links to political groups have been invited to the convention in order to unconstitutionally change the tenure of the party leadership to 6 years. I have attended all the annual party conventions. However, I will not stoop to the level where I have to request an invitation to the convention from a group of former parliamentarians who are blindly following this dictatorial leader. The group of parliamentarians that you speak of with great pride has only 4 members, but the group I represent has over 50 former UNP MPs. Unquote. The letter was addressed to UNP General Secretary Tissa Attanayaka in response to a letter sent by the General Secretary a few days earlier.
We
are sad and we cannot bear to witness this. The UNP is a party which was always in power. Even in defeat, we obtained about 48% of the vote. Do not fear. I promise that we will create that party once again. We will recreate the 1977 UNP cabinet. If you want a Premadasa, we have one. If you want another Gamini Disanaika, we have one as well. If you want someone like Lalit Atulat Mudli, we have people like Dasri Jaisekara.
Meanwhile, a religious observance was held at the Gatabaru Rajamahaviharaya in Deniaya.
May the desire to seek the party leadership for 6 years change. We ask this from the gods.
UNP Deputy Leader Sajid Premadasa says that the government should not hide the truth from the people. He expressed his view at a media briefing today.
Recently, we came across a statement made by a government minister that economic assassins are making offerings. If so, why is this government in power watching the destruction done by the economic assassins? Why have they left room for this? The message conveyed by you remaining in cabinet as ministers is that you too are involved with the economic assassins in destroying the country. Such stories are spread by them for their benefit. We wish to tell them that if they cannot fulfill their duty towards the public, hand it over to us.
ඒ වගකීම අප වෙත බාර දෙන්නේ කියලා මේ අවස්ථාවේ ආයාචනා කරනවා.
The inaugural conference on oceanography in the Bay of Bengal, organized by the National Aquatic Resources Research and Development Agency, or NARA, together with the University of Notre Dame in the United States, commenced in Colombo today. Representatives from the scientific communities of the USA, India, France and Sri Lanka are participating in the conference, which concludes tomorrow. They will share their ideas and findings based on research conducted in the Bay of Bengal with the aim of better understanding the ocean for environmental and economic benefit. Minister of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Development Dr. Rajitha Senaratne was the chief guest at the conference.
Sri Lanka is striving to improve nutritional status and food security by increasing the national fish production through responsible fisheries. We are aware that understanding of the ocean processes, which is one of the themes of the discussion here, is a prerequisite for efficient and effective but sustainable exploitation of fisheries resources. We shall not limit to the exploitation of living resources. It is our responsibility to facilitate the effective use of other aquatic resources, especially the non-living resources and energy resources.
UNP parliamentarian Eran Wickramaratne says that the economy cannot be built by misusing parliamentary power. The MP made this observation during a forum held in Colombo yesterday under the theme Protecting the Independent Judiciary, which ensures justice, law and democracy.
As a party, we are dedicated to the rapid growth of this country, but growth cannot be brought about through black money and debt. This economy can be developed through investment. If investors are to come here, then we must create confidence. If two heads of the Securities and Exchange Commission are sent home within 9 months of each other, can this confidence be created? About a year ago, an act was brought in and private businesses were stolen overnight through Parliament, through an act of Parliament. The three pillars, which are the executive, legislature and the judiciary, need not surpass each other. The independence of the judiciary must be protected. I must state that it is the UNP stance that the judiciary must be independent. As a result of recent decisions by the judiciary, the composition of Parliament has been distorted. Unfortunately for you and me and the country, bills that are harmful to the people are being passed in Parliament today. Deputy Minister of Economic Development Lakshman Yapabewardena says that 82 apparel factories have closed down between 2004 and 2011. He notes, however, that in spite of this, there has been no reduction in revenue earned through apparel exports. Speaking at a media briefing convened today, Deputy Minister of Economic Development Lakshman Yapabewardena said that there is a significant increase in foreign investment in Sri Lanka at present.
GSP සහනය අපිට නැති වෙනකොට
When we lost the GSP Plus concessions, some said that the apparel industry would collapse. But the apparel industry in Sri Lanka has not collapsed. At present, there are 21,000 vacancies in the Biyagama and Katunayaka zones. That means that we have the need, but workers are not coming to us. This is because they are being directed to other sectors. They have started going to Korea and Italy. The problem with regard to the graduates has been solved. The Deputy Minister also responded to allegations made by the opposition that apparel factories were shutting down. In 2004, 511 companies were registered with the BOI in the apparel sector. In 2011, this number was 429. As Premadasa said, several have shut down, but these were for administrative reasons. But I must show you that in 2004, the apparel industry earned $2.7 billion, while in 2011, this figure increased to $4.172 billion. Have our exports reduced? Revenue has increased by 49.5%, so there is no problem here.
Time now for the newspaper cartoon of the day.
Still in local news, the Disaster Management Centre has advised motorists to be vigilant when travelling on hill country roads, as several areas have become prone to landslides due to the heavy rain being experienced. One lane of the Alla-Vallavaya road, which was closed yesterday due to an earth slip, was reopened for traffic today.
According to a correspondent in the area, the earth slip occurred on the stretch of a road between the 23rd and the 24th mileposts. The Disaster Management Centre noted that the police and the Road Development Authority were taking steps to clear the roads. The centre also noted that the Beragala-Haputale road, which was also closed due to landslides, has now been cleared for traffic. According to our correspondents, landslides have also been reported on the northwestern slopes of the Namanukula Mountains. These are visuals what News First obtained this afternoon. Meanwhile, 2 spill gates of the Lunugambera reservoir were opened by 4 inches each due to the reservoir reaching spill level. This is a manner in which 6 spill gates of the Veragal reservoir were opened. Meanwhile, 4 spill gates of the Thabo reservoir have also been opened. Meanwhile, the rising waters of the Badulu Oya had washed away the footbridge that connected Hanwala Island in Badulla to the mainland. According to our correspondent in the area, nearly 60 families who reside on the island have been inconvenienced by this.